I've been groaning in the spirit all day long. I feel like God is getting ready to break something. Ha Shandoro Koshata. I've been through the storm and rain. I've been grieving lately about my mother. Every time I turn around, my mother's up in my spirit, and I've been grieving about her and loving her and missing her and longing to hear her voice and longing to touch her hand and longing to have her tell me it's going to be all right, Sherman, and longing to have her tell me I'm proud of you, Sherman. I'm glad you finally decided to start your own church. I'm glad. I've been longing for her, and God decided today, he said, I'm going to give you a miracle. I'm going to bless you. You've been so stressed lately. You've been so depressed lately. You've been down in the dumps with the blues like you just got some bad news. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bless you. I'm going to just bless you unspeakably. I'm going to just give you something you wasn't even expecting. And oh, God. I had Brother Gandaria to make a phone call for me recently. I said, I want you to call this place and tell them about your ministry and about your pastor. And what I love about him and what I respect about him is he always gives me honor. He always, if you watch him on videos, the minute he starts talking, he'll say something about Pastor Sherman D. Manning. He'll let it be known, this is my leader. This is my pastor. This is a man that God used to change my life. People, you ought to promote people who have helped you. You ought to. You ought to say it. Let the world hear it. Don't care nothing about what they say. Maybe they're going to say, oh, you're kissing up. Let them say that. They're going to say, oh, you're giving man the credit. Man ain't God and all that. No, man ain't God. But still, when Jorge celebrates me, he's not celebrating me. He's celebrating the God in me. He's not celebrating the fleshly me. He's not celebrating Sherman the man. He's celebrating the God that is in Sherman that connected with something in his spirit and transmogrified his life and brought him from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And yes, that's what y'all ought to do. The reason I don't have some of you going on video with me because you don't know how to do that. You open your mouth, the first thing you want to do is start talking about who you are, what you're doing. No, you honor the pastor first. Always do that. Always do it. It's biblical. If you give a prophet a cup of water, you'll receive a prophet's reward. Reverend Sherman D. Manning, R-E-V-E-R-E-N-D. Somebody say, I don't reverend no man. The Bible said don't reverend no man. That's not what the Bible meant. The Bible says, the Bible means don't give reverence to a man above God. Don't lift up a man and exalt him and put him on a pedestal as if he is a god. Reverend, in the sense that we use it, is simply a title. It's simply a title that says I'm a preacher. It's used in the Baptist church just like bishop is used at the holiness in the Pentecostal church. You don't want to say reverend, don't say it. That's your business. I could care less. You can say Pastor Manning. You can say Dr. Manning. You can say Bishop Manning. You can say anything you want to say, as long as you put the Manning in there and have a little bit of respect on whatever you're saying. But if you have interpreted the Bible to think that you shouldn't be saying Reverend and all, don't say it, baby. I ain't going to lose no sleep just because you didn't say Reverend, okay? Let's just get that straight. But Jorge is being used by God, and he made the call and obeyed my instructions to do so. And today we saw the fruition. We saw the blessing come into fruition. We saw God give us an unspeakable miracle for Yes We Can Worship Center. You will hear more about it in the coming weeks. That's all I'm going to say. You will hear more about what happened today in the coming weeks. But I kept telling Jorge, once you connect, see, his meeting me was a divine connection. And my meeting him was a divine connection. And so the enemy did not want it to happen. Jorge, he might not remember, he might not want to remember, but I want him to remember how close we came to missing each other, how close we came to missing this connection, how close. He'll know who it is. Y'all don't know who it is, but there's a guy by the name of Chris who was almost successful at coming between the two of us. God, oh God, anytime God, Jorge, if you're listening, is getting ready to do something great, the enemy will always try to do something to disrupt what God is going to do. And so the enemy sent Chris with that mess, and it almost cost you me, and cost me you, and cost us this destiny. And so today, you remember what happened, Jorge? I told you the whole story. And so that guy came with that spirit of jealousy, and the enemy was trying to use him the same way he was using Chris. Oh, Lord. And just like Chris could have cost you this, that enemy that came today with that jealousy could have cost me that. Oh, don't let the opposition stop you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get some opposition, that ought to let you know, oh, I'm in line for a miracle. Now, God's getting ready to do something great. Anytime the devil comes, I'm going to tell you again, anytime the devil comes and hits you with something that hurts you, that disrupts you, that knocks you off of balance, and you say, wait a minute, where is this coming from? How did Chris start saying all this mess? How did Chris fill Jorge's head up with all this mess? Where's all this mess coming from? Why is this man jealous of me? I was just praying for his wife. That's all I prayed for. Where is this? The devil knows that if I could just disrupt that, I'll prevent that. If I disrupt this, I'll prevent that. And I got to disrupt this if I'm going to prevent that. And so let me try to put up a smoke screen. Let me try to figure out some kind of way to get y'all separated. And so I had to bring Jorge in and train him and teach him. You don't let anybody talk about your leader to you. Seriously. Don't even listen. Don't even entertain it because you can't unring a bell. Once you've heard it, it's in your head and you'll start wondering about it. Don't even let it get in your head. Somebody kind of, I can't stand your pastor. Excuse me, ma'am, sir. I hear you. You have a right to not stand my pastor, but I don't even want to hear it. Whatever it is, I don't even want to hear it. I'm serious. I do not want to hear anything negative you have to say about my pastor. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to cuss you out. That's not how I roll. I'm going to just leave and let you talk to somebody else about my pastor and walk away from them. Don't even entertain it. Don't listen. Don't let anybody begin to have a discussion with you about your pastor. I didn't just say that when I just started pastoring. I've been saying that all along. I've been saying that for years. I said, don't let people discuss your pastor with you. Don't let them denigrate them. Don't let them humiliate them. Don't let them berate him. You ain't even got to defend him. My pastor's cool. You ain't got to do all that. Just walk away. If there are any more chief armor bearers out there listening, if there are any more armor bearers out there listening, if there are any more people out there listening who go to church and love your pastor, do me a favor. Don't let anybody talk to you about your pastor, period, unless it's positive. If it's negative, tell them, I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. I don't even care to hear it. There you go. So we got a miracle today, and God ordered my steps and got me into a position to do something great for Yes We Can Worship Center. And so I'm excited. Brother Gandaria is excited, and I'm going to call our other members that we got Friday and let them know about what's happening, and they'll all be excited. And May 24th, I'll be on Chili Most radio show. Chili Most, just Google him if you don't know him. CHILIMOST. May 24th, I'll be doing his radio show. In the meantime and in between time, let me say this again, 213-377-8681. If you are listening to this podcast in San Jose, in Delaware, in Israel, in the United Kingdom, in Atlanta, Georgia, in Los Angeles, wherever you are, if you can hear this podcast, please, 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 please let me know you heard the podcast. 213-377-8681. Just call me or send me a text or send me an email. ShermanDManning@gmail.com. ShermanDManning@gmail.com. Just send me a text or give me a call or send me an email and tell me that you did hear this podcast. I need to know, please, as soon as possible. Stop sitting there saying, well, I'm sure somebody going to call him. No, you call. Stop sitting there saying, I'm sure a lot of people going to send me an email. No, you send me an email. You send me a text. You please, please, please just let me know that you did hear this podcast. Sherman D. Manning. Meet me Friday night at 7 o'clock p.m. at 5857 South Central Avenue, Suite 180. 5857 South Central Avenue, Suite 180. That is where we will be having an hour of power, a 1 hour church service on Friday night. After that, we feed the hungry. 5857 South Central Avenue, Suite 180. It's at the corner of South Central and Slauson, behind CVS Drugstore, right inside the shopping center next door to Cricket. I want to see you this Friday night at 7 o'clock. Keep the faith.